Money, power, and fear. These crime bosses built empires that rival Fortune 500 companies. But their wealth didn't come from boardrooms or stock markets. It came from drugs, weapons, extortion, and secrets buried deep beneath layers of violence and corruption. These aren't your average millionaires. These are the richest criminals the world has ever known. Their names struck terror across continents, their empires stretched beyond borders, and their lifestyles were filled with excess. From gold-plated guns to private zoos and fleets of jets. In this episode of Trend Pop, we take you deep into the shadows of unimaginable wealth built on blood and betrayal. From Colombia's cocaine kingpin Pablo Escobar to Russia's elusive mafia overlord Semyon Mogilevich, we uncover how these men rose to power, lived like kings, and in many cases, fell just as hard. Stay tuned, because crime, it seems, does pay, at least for a while. Number 7. Griselda Blanco, the Black Widow of cocaine. Griselda Blanco wasn't just a player in the cocaine trade, she was its queen. Operating out of Miami during the 1970s and 1980s, Blanco controlled a vast narcotics empire that reportedly earned over $80 million per month at its peak. Known as the Black Widow, her ruthlessness and cunning made her one of the deadliest and richest female criminals in history, with an estimated net worth of over $2 billion. She pioneered the use of women, children, and even elderly people as drug mules, concealing cocaine in bras, wigs, and false limbs. Blanco wasn't just brutal in business. She was notorious for ordering hits, even on her own husbands. Her lavish lifestyle included luxury homes, designer clothes, and gold-plated firearms. Number 6. Dawood Ibrahim. Dawood Ibrahim is a name whispered across South Asia with fear and reverence. Born in India, he rose from street crime to build D Company, a sprawling criminal syndicate involved in smuggling, extortion, and narcotics. But it was his alleged role in the 1993 Bombay bombings that turned him into a global fugitive. With a net worth estimated at $6.7 billion, Dawood's empire extends from Dubai to Karachi, and allegedly even into Bollywood and international betting networks. He's believed to have maintained ties with terrorist organizations, making him a top target on international watch lists. Despite multiple attempts by Indian authorities to capture him, Dawood remains elusive, reportedly hiding in Pakistan under government protection. His life is a blend of luxury and paranoia, private jets, lavish homes, and tight security. Number 5. Semyon Mogilevich. Unlike the flashy violence of drug lords, Semyon Mogilevich runs his empire with quiet precision and intellectual firepower. Born in Ukraine, Mogilevich rose through the ranks of the Russian mafia using fraud, arms trafficking, and money laundering. Known as the Brainy Don, his operations span across Eastern Europe, the US, and Israel, with businesses used as fronts for massive financial crimes. His estimated net worth exceeds $10 billion, making him one of the richest and most dangerous criminals alive. Mogilevich is a master manipulator, skilled at evading law enforcement by exploiting legal loopholes and leveraging political connections. He's been linked to major scams, including a $150 million stock fraud in Canada. Though placed on the FBI's most wanted list, he has lived freely in Moscow under protection, allegedly with ties to the highest levels of Russian politics. Number 4. Al Capone. Al Capone may be the most iconic gangster in history, a name synonymous with Prohibition-era violence and Chicago's criminal underworld. At the height of his reign during the 1920s and 30s, Capone's empire earned over $100 million a year, the equivalent of over $1.5 billion today. From bootlegging and illegal gambling to prostitution rings, Capone ran his businesses with ruthless efficiency and street-level terror. But despite his violent tactics, he cultivated a Robin Hood image, donating to charities and opening soup kitchens during the Great Depression. His wealth funded a lavish lifestyle of tailored suits, armored cars, and opulent mansions. Yet it wasn't bullets that brought Capone down. It was tax evasion. In 1931, he was convicted and sentenced to 11 years in federal prison. Number 3. Amado Carrillo Fuentes. Nicknamed El Señor de los Cielos, or the Lord of the Skies, Amado Carrillo Fuentes revolutionized drug trafficking with a fleet of private jets. He inherited the Juarez cartel in the 1990s and quickly turned it into one of the most powerful and deadly organizations in Mexico. His ingenious use of air transport allowed him to smuggle tons of cocaine from Colombia into the U.S. undetected. At the height of his power, his net worth reportedly soared to over $25 billion. Amado's wealth funded a luxurious lifestyle filled with high-end real estate, designer suits, and tightly guarded compounds. But constant pressure from law enforcement forced him to undergo plastic surgery to alter his appearance, a decision that led to his death in 1997 on the operating table. Number 2. Pablo Escobar. Pablo Escobar was more than a drug lord. He was a global phenomenon. As the head of the Medellin cartel, Escobar controlled over 80% of the world's cocaine trade in the 1980s, raking in more than $420 million a week. His estimated net worth, a staggering $30 billion. Escobar's influence in Colombia was so vast, he offered to pay off the country's entire national debt. His empire included fleets of planes, submarines, luxury homes, and a private zoo with elephants, giraffes, and hippos. Yet his generosity to the poor earned him folk hero status, even as he ordered thousands of killings. Escobar's life was a paradox, a brutal killer, and a beloved benefactor. After a lengthy manhunt, he was gunned down in 1993, ending one of the most powerful criminal dynasties ever known. Number 1. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman is the modern face of narco power. As the head of Mexico's Sinaloa cartel, he built a global drug empire rivaling even Escobar's. Guzman specialized in tunnels, elaborate underground passageways for smuggling drugs under the U.S.-Mexico border. His estimated net worth at its peak was over $14 billion. El Chapo's operations extended into Europe and Asia, trafficking not just cocaine, but heroin and meth. He lived extravagantly, owning villas, fleets of vehicles, and even a private zoo. His reputation for brutal enforcement, beheadings, torture, and public executions made him both feared and infamous. Twice he escaped from high-security prisons in Mexico, once through a mile-long tunnel under his cell. But in 2016, he was finally captured and extradited to the U.S., where he's now serving a life sentence in a maximum security prison. From drug lords to global masterminds, these crime bosses built empires so vast and wealthy they seemed unstoppable. But as we've seen, every empire built on blood eventually crumbles. Whether gunned down, imprisoned, or still hiding in the shadows, these men left behind legacies carved into the annals of criminal history. Their stories are cautionary tales of ambition, greed, and the dark cost of power. Yet they also reveal a disturbing truth. In a world obsessed with wealth, crime sometimes pays, at least for a while. If you found these stories as shocking and fascinating as we did, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story from Trend Pop. We dive deep into the secrets of power, wealth, and the extraordinary lives of the world's most notorious figures. Until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and remember, not all empires are built in daylight. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.